everybody, and welcome to another episode for the Realm of Vasten. We're going to start a new project here, and I don't know how long it's going to take me, but there's some new patrons this month, and I want to get right to knocking out their build. So, Fiery Shark, this one's for you. You had asked for basically anything in Celea, kind of waterfront. Well, the thing is, we don't have water in Celea. We have ice, and I think that that probably is fine with you, given that you know how it works. So, we have this area right here. It's kind of behind the church, near the Explorers Guild. If the render distance were far enough, you'd see the floating island over there. That's Ninny's house. This is Sausage's house, and this little land is cool. It's on a little peninsula. I think this would be a great place to put a little thing. So what I'm thinking is, let's do it here. Let's do a waterfront house right here. We will, let's see, cut down these trees, which they need to go anyway. This is sort of our wood farm, but now that Sai set us up with an actual wood farm, we can just use that. So, yeah, so this is the plan. This is right behind the yurt as well, if you've been following sort of the geography of Celea as it develops, but that's the yurt. So I was thinking, let's do a house here, maybe even a couple, down the road, but let's just do a house right here, right on it. I'm thinking maybe we'll do a little bridge that's going to connect these two places, something like that. Maybe bring the road along here because it will need it, basically just kind of, we're filling space at this point. Let's jump into spectator and just take a quick look around. So, we're getting to the polishing stage of this season, and that's where you kind of gotta figure out where the spaces are. So, there's this sort of dead space over here with nothing. So I think we could bring a road along here, maybe bring some greenery in over there, bring a nice big house here, and then continue the bearberries right over along here up to Square Mario's house. I think that's really going to work for us, and it'll develop this little piece of land that needs something on it. So first thing I'm gonna do is clear this land, and then we're gonna lay out a nice big waterfront house here. So with a nice view of the church over here. It should be really good. So let me get to some wood chopping, and I'll come back. Okay, it's almost nighttime, and so I'm gonna have to go sleep. But I thought I would bring you in and show you a little bit of my thinking process behind this building. So, I laid out the general shape, and I decided to go with one round tower right on the water. I thought that would be kind of cool, make it a little dome or something. And I had a crazier shape, and then I decided that it didn't fit in as well with Ninny and Sausage's house, which are much more sort of X and Z. Why? So I kept myself to only a few diagonals, and for the most part, straight, flat surfaces, just so it'll blend, with the others. So what I'm doing is I laid out a small, low foundation here of cobble, and then at the furthest point out, I did a bigger one of cobble, and that's going to be going out. Now, going around it, what I'm going to do is going to add stone brick out one. That's going to jut out one in some parts and wood in other parts. And again, I'm trying to tie together these different builds that are all together, because this is kind of the in-between. That's Criddle and Mario's place. This is the community yurt. That's, or Adventure Guild. That's the yurt. Over here, Sausage's place, which is very much stone with a little bit of wood and some brick, and that's Ninny's, which is primarily all wood. And that's the church. So this is kind of in the middle, So what I want to do is I want to sort of combine everything all together. So the only thing I'm thinking that I could use just a little bit more of is maybe a little bit more shape right here. I didn't see it before I started recording, but now that I'm here, so I think what we'll do is we'll just come out right here, and just make one extra little jut out, and I think that's going to really help. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that these line up, and I know it's probably dark because I should be sleeping right now, but these are going to be cool because these are going to be the smallest portions going outside. So these will actually be taller than these. Oh, good. But the cobblestone element will be lower, and that's going to allow for some really nice effects once the whole thing gets built. So I do want to use some painted wood here as well. And that's what some of our various concrete. So I'm gonna have to go get some of that stuff, but I think this should be good. Let's connect this over here. The reason why I'm doing this is so I know where the room divider is, And then what we'll do is we'll just do something along these lines, create a little bit of a roof outline. And this cobble will very likely not stay, but I think it's extremely helpful to have it here now. So I know that that's going to be a regular peaked roof, right? So that's it. So that's the first layer of how I build. That's the first level. I forgot one thing. I forgot a room divider thing over here. This actually does help whenever you're starting to put the other peaks together. So we'll just go right across here. Maybe this will be a little bit lower, or maybe a cellar or a storm basement or something like that, you know. Anyway, so the next step is I'm going to go get a bunch of stone and maybe spruce, probably spruce. It seems like that's what we have around here most. So I'm going to go get a bunch of spruce, which luckily I have from clearing out all these trees. A bunch of spruce and a bunch of stone brick, and I'm going to fill in sort of the gaps. I think the diagonals are going to be spruce. The straightaways are going to be stone brick. That should work out really well. We'll just have to make some decisions where there's both, like straightaway, diagonal, straightaway, you know. But I think it's gonna work really well, and that's all gonna be the same level, which I think should be a good look. But we'll find out here. We'll find out shortly. And the other thing I gotta pick is I gotta pick what color I'm gonna use for the painted wood on the side, and what color I want to use for the roof tiles, shingles situation. So, all right, I gotta get to work. Well, I've really done it this time. I have decided that I hate what I built, and there's some reasons why, and while I'm ripping this whole thing out, I'm going to explain to you why. So this is I did a lot of work on a live stream earlier today on this, and you know, I generally, when I'm building something, even when I don't like it initially, I just trust myself as a builder. And I've talked about this before. I've always said, you know, trust yourself, trust your instincts. If you don't like something, just keep adding blocks, you know, because you'll usually come up with something that you do like. If you just keep putting blocks down, and that's usually the way to find something that's really good, you know. The caveat to that is, but sometimes no amount of blocks added helps. So I actually had this house done with a bunch of red roofs already put in, the red concrete and everything, and honestly, I kept looking at it. I kept trying to add more roofs, trying to add more peaks, and it got so blah that I just hate it. I just hate it. So anyway, it looks like there may be pranks going on. There's pranks going on. I'll bring you guys in on the joke. So Old Gray just whispered, I just summoned a killer rabbit on cow. Price's reaction stares at it and says, that's an angry rabbit. Callous when you see this. You owe Old Gray man a prank. Anyway, yeah, so I just you know what? I looked at it and I talked to a couple of the guys here who were there during the live stream, and man, you know, I don't know, the phrase you can't polish a turd kind of comes to mind. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave all this footage in of the building of it and the tearing it down, because what I want to do is I want to learn together as a team, like what was wrong with this, what can get better, and what are we going to do to fix it. Because you know, obviously this is a patron house, but even if it's not a patron house, I still want to have a house here. I'll tell you one of the things I think I did wrong is that I try to bridge the gap between the sort of random and weird houses that I like these days, and also kind of a traditional Minecraft house. And I think I just did sometimes when you try to bridge a gap, you end up not hitting anything. You know what I mean? Instead of getting the best parts of both, sometimes you actually, I think, you take the worst parts of both. And I think it's up to us as sort of creative people building in this wonderful game that we play to kind of come up with where are we during that. And I almost never tear things down. Almost never. I mean, very, very, very rarely, because you can usually just keep adding blocks and fix it. I just felt like this is one of those times. It just needs to go, and then we're gonna try again. And I'm gonna keep the basic outline. The outline works. The outline was not the problem. The problem was well, I'll tell you what I think part of the problem was. The problem was I broke the way that I build. And I broke it because I wasn't sure what to do, so I started detailing and doing all that stuff before I built the framework. I always build framework first, and that is a huge part of the way I've sort of developed a style that works for me, and I didn't on this build. I think that is a fundamental part of the problem. I've actually been keeping this tower because the tower itself, although not detailed or anything, is actually not too bad. So I might keep the tower and build off of it as part of it. So let me finish. I'm going to take this completely down to the foundation, and then we'll come back and discuss, like, how are we going to fix it? Where are we going from here? Because we got to figure out what the next plan of attack is going to be on this build. And if this takes more than one episode to do this one, that is fine. I can totally deal with that. The one caveat is going to be that we have episode 50 coming up, and that's going to be a bit of a Tory episode. So it may end up being one of those things where we hit this at like 48 or 49 or whatever it's supposed to be, and then come back at like 51 or 52 and sort of do that. But that's okay. We'll get there. We will get there all in good time. All right, let me take this down, and then we'll come back. It's gone. It's gone. I ripped it down to the foundations, and I thought about it, and I hate the foundations. I hate the tower. I hate everything. No, I don't hate everything. But look, you got to realize sometimes, let's just start over. Let's just start over. This isn't good. I'm going to flatten this out a little bit, and we are just going to start from completely scratch and build a new foundation. I'm leaving all of this in again, like I say, just so, so you can see the process. I very rarely have written things down. So you're part of the lucky few that have ever seen me build something and then tear it down, because it just wasn't good. But here's what we're going to do. I'm looking at the random shaped houses that I like, and they're not going to fit here. They're not going to fit here because all the sort of randomized weird shapes that I've done are over there. I'm going to need to build something that's a little bit more traditional to blend in with these mansions. Like we got, sausages and calluses and ninnies. Even that, I built that, but it's hardly random. It's completely symmetrical. And even this church, it's not, it's not symmetrical, but it's very traditional. It's, X, Z axis wise and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to build a very traditional house and kind of go outside of my comfort zone. How weird is that, right? Outside of my comfort zone, just build a house that is just regular, So, now I'm still going to have little jut outs and all that kind of stuff, but we're not going to do any extremely odd shapes, like no circles, probably no diagonals or very few diagonals. And yeah, we're just going to do just an old freaking regular house with, again, just some jut outs and stuff, because I can't stop myself from everything that makes me me. But the jut outs are really going to help. And yeah, should be good. I don't want to go too big on this, so I think what we'll do is maybe just kind of cut it off about here, and something along these lines. Let's do another little jut out here, over here, and just a real little one, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna take this down. Yeah, we'll go right here. Whoop, over to right there. Okay, that's it. That's the shape of the house. Let's take a quick look at it. Spectator. Whoop. Okay, that is as traditional of a house as I know how to make. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build this the way I know how to build a house, which is by doing the framework first. So whenever I do this, I'm gonna do the outside out of stone brick, and what I generally do on these is I make the sort of little jut outs. I make them the lowest points in the house. So let me see. Here. Do I have much? Oh, I have lots. Okay. All right, let's start building these. So what we'll do is we'll do framework that's going to go up, figure out how tall about we want it to be, about there. That should be fine. And then what we'll do is just come right across here, something like this, and drop in right on the corners like we always do. Okay, that's the first step. Let me do this, then we'll come back. Okay, so this is the way I typically do these things. So for whatever that's worth, which apparently is not much because I had to tear down a whole freaking house. But anyway, so we have the small sloped roofs, which is again usually the way I go. And then back here, what we're going to do is figure out exactly how we want to do this. Now I'm actually thinking about doing another little roof in here that's going to connect sort of. So I gotta somehow figure out how to get from here. Let's go over here to see, these are gonna be, this is a little bit complicated here. I need this, so this roof's gonna go the whole way to there. Okay, that is cool, that works. So then coming up, I need something here, and I'm gonna need something here. So let's build up a second floor here. And again, this is going to be another peaked roof, and this roof is going to go into the main area. Okay, so this is a little mini tutorial. This isn't my tutorial series. What are you doing, Fix? But yeah, it's okay. So then what we'll do is we'll just bring this over and to here, Yeah, because this is going to end up being roof block right there. And then what we'll do is, let's see. Actually, that's probably not going to be a roof block. I'm going to get rid of that. I think I lied. So this is going to go up to second floor. Now, how high? I didn't actually look. How high? One more? I think one more. And then we'll go here. And that way, this is taller than these roofs, so they can go into the wall, which is what you want. I think generally you don't want to connect your roofs like that. I think it makes it look a little bit weird. So what we'll do is we'll bring this up here. Now, I could have gone out one, but I think I'm going to try to keep it flush. Sometimes I go out one like Tudor style, sort of like typical Minecraft medieval style. And then sometimes I think that it looks just as good or better to keep it flush. And I think that's the route we'll go for this particular one. Okay, so then we'll drop down here. And again, with the pillar... Yeah, okay. So see what I'm doing? So let me work out the rest of this. Looks like I missed an inside pillar I gotta go get. And then we'll come back with more stuff, okay? Alright, well, Joel is on working on the tree over there. Man, I really wish I could help. I feel I kind of feel helpless a little bit. You know, I think Joel, if you're watching this video, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you necessarily need help in any way, but I still wish I could dive in and help because it's such a huge, massive, just enormous project, and I kind of wish I could, you know, dive in and help alleviate some of the grind at least, and I'll certainly do that once it's sort of worked out as where, you know, where things are going to be and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I'm still working on this. I did a live stream between the last clip and this clip and just kind of talked about landscaping. We did some roads, and a bunch of the guys jumped on and that's not it and kept me company during, which was cool, and did a whole bunch of work for me. So that was very cool, and did a bunch of bridges. I'm going to show you that because you know, my live streams, as I continuously talk about, I'd like to discuss it less. My live streams aren't public anymore, so you can't really catch up if you miss it in the moment. It's that's it. You know, that's it. Their live streams are for patrons only at this point, and so. What I'd like to do here is just kind of go over and just catch you up and just show you what we did. I am working on instead of hit the torches, I find that I'm just taking out the ground underneath it, and that's where I'm putting the dirt, and that seems to work out pretty well. So I just have a bunch of podzo and coarse dirt that I'm peppering in, and I had some slabs, but I think I got a few left, not that many. So yeah. Anyway, here's what we did. So we did a lot of roads on this live stream. Actually, a shocking amount of roads. Actually, it started as a small little project and just kind of kept going and going, and then all of a sudden, here's where we are. So, let me show you. This cart is new. I didn't do that cart. It's awesome. It's in a perfect place. I didn't do it though. So here's the house. Here, this is Fiery Shark's patron house, and I feel pretty good about it. You know, I think it's cool. It's basically done. I didn't do the interior as is typical of me. Maybe I will. You know, I'd like to at some point. But what I want to do is I want to continue this like sort of coarse dirt field that we have over here, and then I want to do something out here. But I don't think we're gonna get to it this episode. I want to do something that's going to make this look good. But let me show you the road. So this bridge I'm standing on, actually, Germ did. I laid out just sort of like where it's going to be, and then Germ was on last night and said, "Hey, you want me to do the bridge?" And yes, and look how magnificent it is. It's just really, it's not that complicated, but the angle, it's not straight and it's not diagonal. It's just kind of like this way, you know what I mean? And he did a really nice job of working it out there. And so then we connected this road, which goes, this is behind the church. There's never been anything here. So, oops. Okay, must have ran out of andesite. Must have run out of andesite. Yeah. So these roads, they still need to be textured, as you can see here, but you get the idea. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. So now this connects. This goes to the tunnel that goes over there. This goes over to the sort of the poorer section that Callus has really been heading up. But then in addition, there's other roads. These roads over here. And like what I want to do is I want to come in and do more of this glowstone with carpet trick, because that's going to help keep the snow off the roads. I don't want to do it everywhere, but largely. So yeah, then you can go along here. This needs to be a wall. We'll do like a little bit of maybe a natural wall. I think that could be kind of cool there. And if you remember this, where sausage came out before, this was dirt, and we've changed it into stone just to sort of match the rest of the roads around here. This bridge is not done. It's just kind of like blocks to show that there's going to be a bridge there. Juxie came in and did some of these lower parts that's very cool. Let's see. Silentcraft came in and did these little mini ice spikes, which are cool. I talked about them before, I think, but I would have never thought to do mini ice picks. I was only gonna do the big ones, and I'm glad that he came in and thought, hey, no, let's do some small ones just to fill up space and all that kind of stuff. Then on the live stream, I did connect this to Cradle's area. I'm a little nervous. I'm hoping that it's okay that Cradle's not gonna be like, I did not want a road there, but yeah, I just threw it down. I just, you know, and the road splits. And then I did this bridge. Nothing much to it, except for it goes over Pixel Brews, Pig, what's Porkers? Mr. Porkers? I think he's gone. Wait, I heard him. I just heard him. I heard him. I heard a pig, but I don't know where. Maybe is he underground? He might have like glitched underground or something. But Porker's routine. I didn't want to get rid of it, so I just made it like this, and I think it works okay. Oh wait, what's here? What is this? Oh, is that the AFK fish farm? Oh, that is the AFK. Okay, if anyone wants to use the AFK fish farm, you're gonna have to put a piece of glass up there and knock that one out because it works a lot better with nighttime. I don't know what the sound is. Do AFK fish farms work without you even being there now in 1.13? I didn't. If that's true, because I mean, it sounds like it's AFK fishing, but without anyone there. I didn't know that. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, it's kind of, oh, there's a little bit more. Yeah, so the reason why I put this bridge here, other than going over Porker's Retreat, because I didn't want to delete it, is because I wanted to keep this road. You know, I like this little road, this little path. I don't think they should all be huge stone roads. You know, I think some of them should actually just be little dirt path. So I wanted to keep this. I don't want to rip it out. So that means we need a different way to connect. So what I did is I brought this road over to in front of the Adventurers Guild, which didn't have one previously. And yeah, I think works just really well. So this is all connected. I think what I might do is, I really like this, but I'd like it to be just a little bit more clearly road. And all it would take is honestly just like a little tiny bit of light just to melt some of this snow. I think that would actually just help, because I think it's just a little bit over, like too much, just a little bit too much snow, whereas it's hard to see that it's a road and not pass. So we just need maybe some string or whatever, but light works just as well. So you know, or even some of these fire pits. These fire pits are really cool. Anyway, that's the work that we did on a live stream, and I think that kind of brings us to the end of the episode. So Fiery Shark, thank you so much for your patronage. You know, patrons really help. They do offset because, you know, it's a monthly thing. So every month, I don't have to worry about the server costs because they're being offset by you guys, by my YouTube friends and my patrons and all that stuff. So it's really super helpful. So thank you so much. And that's a silver tier house for you, waterfront, or as best we can do in Celea. And yeah, we're gonna do more. We're gonna do some landscaping and stuff like that, but not today. So hold on one second. Let me grab a question or comment of the day. All right, so here we go. Hey, hashtag HeyFix, which, by the way, I say it all the time, but if you want to grab my attention for a question or comment of the day, yes, I read every comment, and yes, I respond to all of them. But whenever I'm looking for one, man, it is super helpful to have that because it turns blue on my screen, and I can't tell you how much it pops out. So, hashtag HeyFix, do you think it's better for everyone to work on one town or better for everyone to work on their own towns? Plugbaby 1400. Okay. So yeah, that's a great comment because that sort of gets to the heart of who we are as a server and as a community and everything. I mean, that's it, right? Did I have exactly whatever 64 minus 14 or whatever? Wow, that was crazy. Anyway, yeah. So you know, I think that this is a very niche, right? Server. This is not cut out for everyone. Some people do not like the community thing. Some people are users. Some people would come in and just take and not replenish goods. It just doesn't fit for everyone. So this isn't for everyone. So I think better for a random server, I'd say everyone have their own towns, their own bases, all that kind of stuff. But for what we're trying to do, which is create an enormous, huge world, I find that this is way better. For one thing, it's a sense of community. We're all in it together, working at the same time, in the same place, in the same area. This, I don't think very many people's bases would be this big. And this is only about a quarter of it, you know, if you keep going and include all the underground stuff, right? So, I mean, this would only be possible if it were a sort of community build situation, you know, and that's what I want to do. Plus, not to mention that there's this, but there's like 35 additional kingdoms throughout the world, you know? Which brings me to a special thing that we're going to start talking about next episode. Next episode is episode 50. I'm going to be doing it by myself because I want to talk about a lot of things. I want to talk about Celea largely, but then in addition, I want to talk about a new series of tours that I'm going to be doing with some special guests that it should be really fun. Anyway, looking forward to it. But so for me, this is ideal. I get to play with my friends, and I get to build epic, huge, giant, awesome things, and I get to write a bunch of lore and all that kind of stuff. So for me, this is perfect. So Plug Baby, thanks for the question, because I think that is a great question, and it all depends on who you are, what you're looking to get out of the game, and who, you know, do you want to play with friends? Do you want to sort of see your friends sometimes in community areas like a Hermitcraft style server where they do some community stuff, but it's also often about base building, even though I think this season's a little bit more community, but I think you know what I'm getting at. So you know, most SMPs are you meet in the very first episode, and then you go build your own base, and it's quite single player in a lot of ways, you know. And this is I am attempting to make it more and more community based. You know, looking at this, I really need to expand Ninny's winer orchard. That's like not big enough to make anything, so I need to maybe fill up all this space with that. I think that'd really be helpful, or something, or houses or something, who knows what, something. And then the bearberries have got to be expanded as well. So anyway, that's it for me today. That was a great question, and if you have any future questions or comments of the day, hit me up, #HeyFix, in a comment, and I'm probably gonna read it. You know, I'll probably get to it in some episodes. So, all right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next episode. Please don't forget to subscribe to my wonderful friends who are wonderful, amazing builders, and just cool people and great content creators. I'll see you next episode. Hey, patrons and YouTube members, you guys are over there. Thank you so much for your support. I've mentioned it all the time. I try to say it frequently. I need to say it more. Thank you so much, because each of you makes these servers, the Vasten Dimensions, and the Wizard City time-lapse build possible. I could not swing it if it weren't for you. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for the support of in coming to the live streams and checking all the videos and the comments and the likes and all that kind of stuff. It really does make a huge difference. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.